2 সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, বিজ্ঞাপন বিরতির পর আমরা ফিরে আসলাম আপনাদের প্রিয় অনুষ্ঠান এনটিভির বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান আজকের আলাপন। আজকের আলাপনে আমরা কথা বলছি বেঙ্গলি ওয়ার্কার অ্যাসোসিয়েশন ক্যামডেনে সুরমা সেন্টারে যে অ্যাসোসিয়েশনটি 1973 সালে প্রতিষ্ঠিত হয়েছিল এবং আজকে পর্যন্ত বাঙালি কমিউনিটিকে সেবা প্রদান করে আসছে। এবং আমরা জানি শুধু বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি নয়, বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি ছাড়াও অন্য আরও অনেক কমিউনিটি মানুষদের সেবা প্রদান করার মাধ্যমে সুরমা সেন্টার দিন দিন তাদের সেবার মান উন্নত রাখছে। আমরা যাদের সাথে কথা বলছিলাম বিভিন্ন বিষয়ে যে আমরা একমত যে বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি যেভাবে তাদের সফলতা বা অর্জনকে দেখাচ্ছে এবং বিভিন্ন ক্ষেত্রে আমরা এখানে দেখতে পাচ্ছি দুইজন ফর্মার মেয়র অফ ক্যামডেন এবং এন্টারপ্রেনার, বিজনেস এন্টারপ্রেনার সহ এখানে যারা উপস্থিত আছেন প্রত্যেকেই বিভিন্নভাবে কমিউনিটিকে দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করছেন, কমিউনিটির সাথে ইনভলভ রাখার চেষ্টা করছেন এবং এর মাধ্যমে আমাদের বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি আরও অনেক এগিয়ে যাবে, এটি আমাদের বিশ্বাস। প্রিয় দর্শক, আমরা বেঙ্গলি ওয়ার্কার অ্যাসোসিয়েশন নিয়ে কথা বলছি। বেঙ্গলি ওয়ার্কার অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের চেয়ার আব্দুস সামাদ আছেন। আমি আপনার কাছ থেকে জানতে চাই এই বর্তমান অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের মোট মেম্বার সংখ্যা কত?
Okay, Bortoman current membership renewal assess. So we have, and I can give you the last year's really. It's about 2,800 members.
2,800 Bangladeshi members.
Yes.
For this association.
Yes.
How, what's the population for Camden?
It's about round about. I'm not accurate, but about 24,000.
24,000.
Yes.
Okay. So you're gonna. Is there any? Any terms and condition to be a member for this?
Well, you have to be a local resident, and like any other organization, you have to provide your ID that you are a resident of Camden.
You're local resident.
And there's a membership fee as well.
Okay. So basically, as far as from your conversation. The center run by local government funding?
Not all local. A proportion of it is local government funding.
Okay. What is the income for the center?
The last year's income is about 225,000.
Okay. Is that coming from any project or?
It's a mixture. I think it's a mixture of local government, big lottery, John Lyons. So it's different charities, trusts, local government, big lottery. Like any charity at the moment, I think in order to survive, you've got to diversify your funding and also fundraising. So a big part of our job as directors and trustees is to make sure that we have a plan to get new funding in. So we're at the moment looking at different funding applications to make sure that we can get new funding in and increase the activities that we're doing.
Okay. Is there any other organization in Camden who is working?
Oh, there's hundreds and hundreds of organizations, but and they do also provide good services to the Bengali community. But
is it really hundreds or hundred?
No,
not Bangladeshi.
Not Bangladeshi. There's other, not hundreds, maybe 20, 30 organizations are also providing services for Bangladeshi community. But we are more of the Bangladeshi organizations providing services to Bangladeshis and others.
As a Bangladeshi organization, I think you need to promote the Bangladeshi culture.
Yeah,
of course.
So
that's what we were talking about, wasn't it, earlier? That in terms of the Bangladeshi culture, you know, we haven't said that yet. That Bengali Workers Association, one of our key roles is to make sure that with the new generation of young people growing up. They don't know about the British Bangladeshi culture and about the actual Bangladeshi culture because they're growing up as British Bangladeshis. So we have lots of events like Ajker February event. We celebrate the Independence Day. We have an event going on tonight. So after this, we're going to go. We have a Camden Mela. So every year we have probably about 8 or 9.
Very interesting, Camden Mela.
Yes, it's a big festival. Like, you know, Bengali Workers Association is part of it. But what we do is make sure that we celebrate our Bangladeshi culture, our identity. You know, we're so rich in culture, so that the young people don't forget the language, they don't forget our religion, they don't forget our culture. But also so that the elderly that we were talking about before, they feel at home when we have these events, so they can come and they can talk about the Independence Day.
Okay.
All those people that
can
died.
I ask you, Nasir Bhai, can I ask you something? You know, in terms of promoting Bangladeshi culture,
yes.
and definitely you probably you are promoting Bangladeshi. You know, you're talking about the Ajker February, which is our
yes.
International Mother Language Day. Do you have any service for your Bangla school or stuff?
There used to be music classes, which was it was run by qualified music teacher who were teaching the children, young children, about music. Basically music, and also they used to organize events, which Professor Nasir mentioned, all those Bangladeshi major events, encourage them to perform in those events.
Can I take a call?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hello caller, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Ji walaikum salam.
I just want to say it's a good show, and I just want to say thank you to all our good role models that are there, Salik Bhai, Nash Bhai, Nadia Shah, Councillor Nadia Shah, Nash Ali, and Samad Bhai. I think they've done very good job in Camden, and I think they will do in the future as well, and Camden is in good hands, with their hands.
Excuse me, caller, can I have your name and why are you calling from?
My name's Majid, I'm calling from Camden.
Oh, fantastic. So you know him, yeah? Thank you very much for your call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I think what we were saying is, yes, we do. We provide language classes. I think before we were providing a lot more, but now with funding cuts, it's more in partnership with different organisations. And I think that's the way you've got to go. That's the way forward, is to work in partnership with different organisations. In Camden, actually, we have about 2,500 charities in Camden. Wow. So there's 2,500 charities in Camden. And in terms of working with the Bangladeshi community, you know, there's not that many. So Shurma Centre in itself is historic because it's the first one that worked with them, and it's still seen as like, you know, the original. The others are like sort of copy, you know. But that's why we're so proud of Shurma Centre, because it's like where people think about first when they think of the Bangladeshi community.
So do you arrange sometimes when I get invite so many organizations, basically Bangladesh Center, there are so many Bangladesh Center in around the UK, and 25th of December where everyone get off, I mean, from restaurant, and they organize something very, you know, sometimes mela and sports indoor game. And do you do something like that?
We do, and Chair Samad takes a lead role on that. You know, he sometimes organizes events, although we have funding constraint, as Councillor Nasir mentioned, you know, because of the tourist austerity budget and all these, you know, inequalities. So sometimes, you know, Chair Samad, he organize events during Christmas, or apart from Christmas, there is festivity going on, so we try to arrange something with the limited funding. So although we have intention,
you don't need all the time, do you? No, you don't need funding, do you?
No, we do need funding, because, you know, anything you arrange, you know, involves finance.
You can involve community. That's how you can get.
That's what we do.
That's true, but because the community organization, it's a charity organization, you can't actually ask for sponsor, because the charity register, there's a limitation coming from a charity organization. If it is a normal organization, then that's fine, you go around and ask people to sponsor the program. But because it's a charity organization, you have to show that you are not insolvent. We are not insolvent. We have a plan to apply for more funding, and we are, you know, acting upon that. But as I said, because of the funding cuts, council has limitation.
Thank you. We'll come back to you. I've just got a very important question to ask Mr. Samad. You know, it's 40 years, yeah?
45.
45. It's 73.
73.
And now 2018.
2018.
So it's 45, right?
45, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's 45. Okay.
Okay.
For the 45, do you see any, apart from them, any role model who is from the Shurma Center, used to be work here and they become?
Oh, there's lots of names. There's Hassan Bhai, who was a chair.
And they, what are doing, I mean, in mainstream?
He runs Upper Senth, you know, in Tower
Yes,
Hamlets.
yeah.
So Hassan Bhai MBA runs Upper Senth. He was the coordinator of Shurma Center. Helal Abbas,
Okay.
he was the leader of Tower Hamlets Council. He worked for Shurma Center. Tulip Siddiq, so
Yeah.
Tulip in terms of is an MP now, and she was my
Very good.
co-councillor in Regent's Park Ward. So in terms of, I think, role models,
All
from
are
Camden,
involved.
They were all involved with the
Shurma
Shurma Center.
A good history.
Let me give one more example. You know, he's very prominent figure. He used to be a very prominent figure. Councillor Ajker Alapon. He used to be the coordinator of Shurma Community Center. Obviously, he was.
Why not now?
Well, he left because
he was the councillor in Tower Hamlets.
And he was offered a position, I think, Havering Council as the head of HR. So obviously, he would go for the better salary job. So at that time, he left. But yeah, so he was the deputy leader of Tower Hamlets, head of regeneration. So and he has a lot of contribution in Tower Hamlets. So yeah, he's one of the role model.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I want to ask you a very important question as well. As a woman, and you are part of the Shurma Center, you are the former mayor of Camden Council, and we want to see more women coming forwards.
Of course.
So can you take the lead for Camden?
Yeah, of course I can. You know, if I have that job,
what's your plan from the Shurma Center?
I think, like I said, you know, we have got women on our board. My background is in community development itself, so we're always looking at ways to develop our community, whether it be women, whether it be the elderly, because we've seen a bit of a gap in the service with the elderly in terms of isolation, whether it be for young women who want to aspire in certain routes. I mean, we've got so much in our community, and one thing that we have failed to mention is that this centre was actually started by our community, by community members. I mean, we might be in positions now, in professional positions, in business, in politics, but actually the grassroots of where this started from was well-meaning, passionate community members who wanted to do better for their community. So that's where it started from, and that's very important to remember. Although we're products of Shurma Center, we mustn't forget those who started Shurma Center.
Okay.
Can I just add one thing? I think it is important to mention it. I mean, Councillor Mabdia is one of the first Bengali female mayor in
we already mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it shows the community that there are, or it shows the wider community that there are skilled, competent female Bangladeshi.
They need to come forward.
And also it encouraged. She acts as a role model for the Bengali female in Camden. I think in the future, which is it paves the way for female to become involved in local government election, which
thank
is
you. Thank you, Salik Bhai. Thank you for your information. We are very end of this show, and I would ask Samad Bhai, do you want to say something as a chair from Shurma Center?
Okay, yes, I would
Any
like
message
to
for tonight?
Yeah, I have messages for all my elders and all the people that put very good and hard work into the Shurma Center, and it's an endless number of people who's started, who's been on the board, and I personally like to thank all of you for giving your hard work and your effort and energy, and inshallah pray for us that our center stays for a lot longer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone. Especially thanks Samad Bhai, especially thanks Nadia Shah, and you Nasim Ali Nasim Bhai and Salik Mia Bhai. Thank you for coming. আপনাদের অনেক ব্যস্ত সময়ের পরও আমাদের আজকে সময় দিয়েছেন এবং আমাদেরকে ভবিষ্যতে আমরা আরো অনেক কিছু জানবো শুরমা সেন্টার নিয়ে। আজকের মতো আমরা এখানে বিদায় নিতে হচ্ছে। সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলছি আমাদের আজকে যারা অতিথি আছেন বেঙ্গলি ওয়ার্কার্স অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের পক্ষ থেকে যারা আজকে কথা বলছেন, আমরা অনেক কিছু জেনেছি আমাদের কমিউনিটি সম্পর্কে। আমরা আবারও এই ধরনের অনেক সংগঠন নিয়ে আপনাদের সামনে হাজির হব। সেই পর্যন্ত সবাই ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন। আল্লাহ হাফেজ।